Hi everyone, it's Polar's Lights and Signals. Today I want to do a video on this really unique, what I think is really rare and hard to find, green PowerBracket style fixture. So to start off this video talking about this thing will be a little bit hard because I have no information on this fixture. The only thing I have that really partially says something is the lamp inside. It's a Norelco brand lamp, which is a co-company of Philips. And of course, it's called Norelco in America because the Philips branding could not be used here due to, I guess, copyright reasons. It's painted in this really weird green color. I don't know if that also specifies something. And the refractor that came with it, which I actually replaced with the same exact refractor, was a Lexolite enclosed bottom refractor. So I don't know when this fixture was made, who the brand is, but there's really only three things that give me kind of an idea. So yeah. This is my second and or third because I actually had gotten two of these PowerBracket fixtures in my collection. Now, if you're wondering where I got this along with the other one that I don't have down here just because it doesn't need to be down here for any reason, these came off a Facebook Marketplace, and they were here in Michigan where I live, and they were over in Grand Rapids, so I took a long drive over there for the day to grab these. One had the refractor, which obviously, like I said, was yellow, and of course the other one didn't. But I'm glad at least one of the refractors was on one of them, so the other one's going to get the same refractor. Now, despite not having any history on these, I do. Well, at least there was one place that had two more of these. And I don't know if anyone happens to live over in Coldwater, Michigan, but they had a police station over there that also had two of these as well. And they got recently taken down, and I'm hoping they weren't thrown in the trash. But other than that one place, I don't know where any more of these are. Unlike General Electric and American Electric's and Westinghouse's PowerBracket style fixtures, this one's a lot smaller. You know, the other three brands I mentioned, they made them in a much bigger size compared to this one. This one's really short compared to my General Electric PowerBracket fixture that I have, which you guys have probably seen before in one of my blogs. I do have a 400 watt Mercury PowerBracket from General Electric, and it is much bigger and definitely much taller than this fixture. But yeah, it's smaller, and I don't know if they ever made these in 250, but I can definitely assure you guys that they made these in 175 and most definitely 100 watts mercury vapor. So yeah, it is a weird design. Unlike the straight designs that Westinghouse, American Electric, and General Electric had, this has more of a taper, as you can see, than the other ones. And of course, Lime Materials did their own thing, so this looks nothing like the Dusk Till Dawners they made. But yeah, and even though it is smaller, like I said, it has this Lexolite buckets refractor that we will take a look at here in a moment. And it's a standard NEMA heads design. So right off the bat, if this ever were to get damaged or broken or needed to be replaced, like I had mentioned, because the previous one was yellowed, this can be replaced. I didn't replace the top part, obviously, that came with it because that's original. I just replaced the plastic part, but it's easy to do. You got a long strap that goes around the outside, and you can undo the screw here, which I will show you again, of course, when we take a much closer look at that. But yeah, overall, starting here with the body, you can see the back part. Unlike the PowerBracket fixtures that the other brands I mentioned made, this one has an adapter with it. And I don't know if GE, Westinghouse, and American Electric did this, but this has an adapter on it, so does the other one, to mount it on a flat surface. Of course, this is on the fence in here. But if you want to mount this against the wall, or like a brick wall, or like the outside of a house, it's really easy because you have this really nice adapter bracket in here, and there's two huge bolts that are it's a little bit hard to see. You probably can see it right up in there. There's 2 bolts that kind of keep it together with the front part. Of course, if you don't want to use that, we'll see it here in a second. There is another hole, obviously, where the existing one's being used to mount it onto a wooden pole or a metal pole, whatever type of pole you want to mount it to. For the entrance, for the wiring on here, there's this thing on the side, and I don't know if this is original to it either, but it kind of looks original, and the wires were cut, so I just got them spliced into my little cord, and then the wires feed inside, which we'll look at in a minute here. But hey, you can see it's really skinny, but then it's on the sides it has a very weird boxy shape. I'll try to go under. It's the same way on the other side, and kind of on the bottom as well. I'm guessing that's to accommodate for the ballast. I think the ballast does extend to the edges of those, so kind of a weird design. And the metal on here, it is finished pretty well. You'll notice here and there that there are maybe some rough surfaces, like right here. Of course, if the camera will focus, we're not so lucky right now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see a little bit of some rough surfaces, but it doesn't hurt your hands. It doesn't feel really that bad. It's pretty good, and I'm guessing the aluminum is anodized on this, because even though there is some paint chipping, there's no corrosion or any real corrosion to note, other than maybe on the bottom there and some on the top. But yeah, and this paint, I guess these came in different colors maybe, unless this was made during the 60s and just had a trendy fashion color that came with it. But it's they have this metallic green enamel paint. I say it's enamel because you can see how it chips. Oh, and oh yeah, it's been chipping on the bottom part too, so of course. Gosh darn camera. Oh no. Okay, well, you guys can kind of see it, but yeah. So it's a green enamel metallic paint. So I don't understand why they did that, but yeah. The photocell socket here, which this does come with one. This is not original, the whole photocell setup, but I will show you at least what the one on here looks like. So this came out of just a standard store bucket light, area light fixture, and it just so happens to fit in the hole that's already readily available on top. So yeah, this is just a plastic photocell piece that I installed. It's not perfect by any means. It lifts, it kind of lifts up and it slides around. It is not secured properly, but it definitely works and plays the part. And I think there would have been a socket there possibly, and I say that because if you look at the design here, you can see there's a nice little taper in right there, and that's so your photocell can extend itself around the whole circumference of that base. So they did account for that. I will say when I got these fixtures, they had some weird conduit mount photocell on them that was really old, and I don't know if that also shows the date for these things, but I can put a picture up. And I had these on them, and the 2 in Coldwater I think had the same kind of photocells as well. So maybe they just didn't have twist locks. Maybe they had a completely different setup for the photocell, but I got a twist lock on mine, and I'm definitely going to keep it because it looks good. So yeah. And before we go inside, I want to come up towards the front here. Now, like I said, you can put a standard bucket refractor on here, and it's really nice and round on top. And I guess if you get some different angles, it doesn't look too bad. It's a little chunky, but yeah, it's pretty good. And there is a thing right here, a little divot. I'm guessing this is would have had a hole drilled in it, so you could have a little security safety chain on here. So when you're servicing this, you can have the refractor basically just hang off to the side while you're screwing in the bulb. But I guess they didn't think that was necessary, so they just scrapped that idea and just left the mold, though, the part of the mold in there. But yeah, and taking this off is pretty simple. There's 2 latches on each side. They're little pressure latches. All you gotta do is undo one side, and then undo the other one, which should be pretty easy at this point. And voila, the bucket refractor is off. I'll go ahead and set that aside, and we'll look at the lamp real quick. So here is the lamp area. There's not really a lot to see in here, but you can see the socket up there. You got the 2 wires. I don't know why there is an opening right here. That is a good way for bugs to actually crawl up and get inside. So I don't like that, but I guess if anyone understands that, why that is, and I just don't, please let me know. But yeah, not really very good, and moisture could get up in there as well and probably cause some issues, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, here is the lamp, and you can see, if I can do a cool little camera turn, that it says Norelco on it. It's a 175 watt lamp. I really don't know how old this is. It says weatherproof on it. I mean, all mercury lamps are pretty much weatherproof, but yeah, so I don't understand why it says that, but yeah, so this is a Norelco 175 watt deluxe coated mercury lamp. It's pretty cool. I'll take it out real quick and just kind of show you guys how it looks. Again, we can look at the logo. That could be a date code. Oh wait, no, that says H36. Never mind. Yeah, there's not really anything that says when it was made that I can see. Sometimes there could be something on the bottom. Of course, I don't see anything unless you guys do. But there's some numbering. But yeah, it just seems pretty standard other than the nice logo. I do like that logo. Norelco has a pretty nice fancy logo. But yeah. So look at the socket real quick. Here is the socket. It looks like a basic standard Leviton socket, nothing special, but yeah, it's pretty nice and high quality, and it's the ceramics on it, or porcelain. It's a porcelain socket. The porcelain is very, very thick, so really like that, and it'll definitely stand up to any potential heat that could really build up in this. So yeah, let's go down, look at our refractor real quick. So here is the bucket refractor that comes with this. I will say, at least for the metal part is really nice. A lot of the newer pressed refractors like this, bucket refractors, the metal is usually really thin and can get dented very easily, the newer stamped ones, and so can this actually in a way, but this is a much denser stamped aluminum, and it's really hard just for me to push in on it to bend it, and I can't, so that's how nice it is. I really like that a lot. And here are those latches. They're like pressure latches or something, I guess. They feel really good. Again, these stamped pieces of aluminum are really thick, and you got this nice stainless steel spring here that has a really nice, cool twist design to it. Of course, on the other side, it's exactly the same. Really, really awesome. And to if you need to replace the plastic section of it, we got this thing right here to unscrew, again, like I mentioned earlier, this entire rod. It basically just helps to clip the top housing of that to the plastic section. And it's a really nice, well, not nice anymore. Looks like a galvanized screw. It's kind of rusty at this point, but I can still get it out if I need to. But yeah, it's really nice. So in the plastic section, so the lens that was on here originally, obviously, like I said, was the same lens, but it was a polycarbonate lens. Now I got a Lexolite acrylic. I was told that acrylic lenses don't yellow as much with mercury vapor, so I think this is a much better option. And overall, in general, just talking about Lexolite's refractors, this is a pretty nice refractor. I'm not a huge fan of acrylic. It always feels really dry and maybe a little bit cheap sometimes, especially if you're talking about Cooper's acrylic refractors. They feel like crap, but this one's pretty nice. It feels nice and smooth on the outside. It has a really nice, clear, crisp finish. I can put my hand in there. You can see my hand through it. So yeah, nice, clean, clear, and crisp and mold. Really, really love it. I think this is the two-way design that I got for it. Let's see. Oh, it just says type. It doesn't really say on this one. The other one actually said two-way. But yeah, of course it's closed bottom. I will say these are pretty hard to find, but the reason why I was able to get this one so easily is because I work for the street lighting companies here in Detroit, And there are a crap ton of these in the abandoned areas of Detroit, a crap ton of these refractors everywhere. So they're still readily available if I need one, and that's how I was able to get one very, very fast for this thing. But yeah, and not long after I got that fixture, I was looking for one of these, and I came across hundreds of them. So I don't need 100 of them, but I just needed one, or excuse me, two, as for the other one. But yeah. So really nice overall design, and for that polycarbonate version, other than it yellowing, I will say it was pretty nice refractor too. Just had a very ugly color, and I could not stand it. So I don't like plastics for that reason. But if they're nice and new and they're at least high quality, I can let it slide. So yeah. Okay, let's move back over here to the fixture and look at the inside area. So on this fixture, you got 4 screws. I had to replace mine. I will say the screws over time for these things get really crappy, but you got 2 up there, and then you got 2 down here as well. Let me go ahead and do this off camera real quick, get these screws off. Alright, so I got that piece off. Like the screws on the bucket refractor, these are not original. But these are a set of screws I had from another fixture that were still in good shape. The screws, obviously, on the door or for this piece, they rusted too, and I actually snapped a couple of them. But luckily, I was able to extract them. But as for this piece, there really is nothing going on with it. It's just kind of there to be like a cover, but it's really nice still. And it has some numbering embossed in it. I don't know what that is for, but it's there. If we come over to the fixture, wow, my camera is being stupid today. If we come over to the fixture, you'll see the bottom section here, and you can see there's a little thing here. This kind of helps to keep it guided in to that little adapter. And if you look up in there, sorta, you can see a bolt in there and a nice little open square area. Of course, that's your spot so that you can attach either to the pole that you're going to install it on, or you can attach it to that adapter. And talking about that adapter, there are 2 holes I almost forgot to mention on the outside. I don't know what those are for. I guess there would have been a ground lug or screw in case it was connected to some overhead lines. But those are there, I guess, if you want to do anything with them. And yeah, and moving up here, you can see the wires coming into the fixture. You got this really nice fiberglass terminal block setup here. It's a nice solid red piece of fiberglass board. It's screwed into the ballast really well, and I like how there's lots of crimp connections. And instead of there being spades that are connecting all the wires together, you got little Y hooks that get crimped under a bolt. So I like that design. It's really nice, and it really makes it easy. If you ever have to maintenance any of this stuff, it'll make it really easy to take it apart and clean it and do whatever you need to make it nice again. So yeah, I really like that. And then here you can see the entire ballast. This is a 175 watt mercury vapor ballast, and it is a high reactance transformer. So no capacitors or anything. And I will say, when I looked at this transformer, at first it looked really cheap. And I will say it looks cheap because you can see, you got this plastic here that, I don't want to press on that anymore, but if you kind of bend it, it looks like it could snap. It looks discolored. It kind of looks like a cheapy transformer. But I am going to say this, and you guys probably won't believe it until you see this come on. This thing is freaking silent. Makes absolutely no noise. So I don't know why I've been deceived, but this thing is freaking awesome. And I know mercury vapor is kind of cool when it has that hum, but yeah, it is quiet. So I like that. And on the top here, you got another little piece of fiberglass board for additional connections to everything else. And here's the bottom of the photocell socket. I do think that there could have been some type of twist lock on here though, because there's 2 holes on each side, as you can see here, for some kind of bracket, I guess, to hold the photocell, but obviously it's not here. And those holes have been threaded, so I'm guessing a screw has been in them. So there had to have been something, but oops, bumped the camera. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you just got your wires running up through the arm and into the front of the fixture where the lamp is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I could mention is the seal. You do have a nice little weather seal here, which is starting to kind of come off and dry rot, but not a big deal. It could be replaced. And yeah, that's it. So let me go ahead and put the door back on and we can watch this warm up. Alrighty, so I went ahead and turned one light off and excuse me. Alright, so I went ahead and put the fixture back together, so I'll go ahead and shut this light off. Hopefully it's not too bright in here. So this is my unknown brand PowerBracket fixture that runs 175 watt mercury vapor lamps in 1, 2, 3. So I'm sure you did hear that little bit of humming. It hummed obviously a little bit more loudly when it was trying to strike the bulb, but as you can hear, it is like virtually almost silent. Now, of course, if I come into the camera here and I try to listen more closely with my head next to it, you can hear it hum, but it's really subtle. When you're standing, like actually even just standing like, I want to say 3 feet from it, you don't even hear it. So it's a very, very nice, lovely, quiet fixture. I know some people that have these types of area lights hate the loud buzzing, but if you want a fixture that does not hum loudly, well, this is your fixture. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch it warm up. Okay, so we are at full brightness, so let me go ahead and lift the camera off the tripod. We can get a nice close look at it. Now I haven't, or at least I don't think I have, other than my crime fighters, I haven't really gotten a shot of a bucket lens in a while. So it's pretty cool to look at on camera. It's a little bit different. But let's kind of look at the whole fixture. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's really wonderful. I should put a clear bulb in it so it'll be more green for the theme of St. Patrick's Day, but yeah. Here's the side part. Coming into the front. It's a little bit hard because the camera doesn't want to do it. Yeah, you get the idea. You can look at the top section. You see the little hole up there and the ballast compartment on this side. Really nice. Here's the photocell socket up here. I didn't mention it, but this is that dummy photocell. It's a shorting cap. It's not real. That I've been using in some of my videos. Here is the bucket. It is pretty cool the way it refracts light. There's that logo. because I know you guys want to see what it looks like. Let's pretend we're doing a ground shot. So you can see it a little closer. Oh yeah, that's pretty. You can just hear nothing from it. It's really, really quiet. It's wonderful. It's almost like a nice little peaceful fixture to look at. So yeah. Alrighty, so that was my 175 watt unknown brand PowerBracket fixture. Hopefully you guys have, now that you've observed this video, maybe have seen some of these. Because I will say I've never, other than that one place in Coldwater where I used to live that had some, I really don't know of any other place in the world that has these. I think they're really novelty, they're unique, they're small. And I think it's good if you want to start collecting PowerBracket fixtures, a good starter fixture, even though I didn't start with these fixtures. But yeah, it's really cool. And I like that it uses standard NEMA buckets. I think that's really nice. And yeah, so if anyone knows where any of these are, I would definitely recommend going and taking pictures, sharing locations, and making posts online, whatever forum you are on or app. Of course, I'm on Facebook. I am on, not really active on Light Gallery, but I go on it. I'm on Light Gallery, and that's pretty much it. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And if anyone knows anything about these or where they are or any information on them, please feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, because that would be really, really helpful. Yeah, I will say, even though it is lucky I found these, it's unlucky that I don't know who they are made by. So hopefully in the future I will know more about this neat little fixture, and maybe I'll do a newer review, but for now this review will have to suffice. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a good rest of your St. Patrick's Day. If you guys are going to go drink, because apparently this is a thing now, or it's always been a thing, please go drink responsibly. Don't be a dumbass and then go get in a car wreck. Be responsible and celebrate responsibly. And yeah, and for all you guys who aren't doing that, enjoy obviously the rest of your night, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.